Salam, salam. Welcome to lecture 129. The title of this lecture is Exposing the Islamic Myth of Salt and Sweet Water Seas Mixing. So from centuries, from Imam Tabari, then Ibn Kasir, and then all these thousands of translations till now, they have translated that there is two water or two sea water, sweet and salt water, and the miracle of the God that they don't mix together. So this their translation against the natural laws of reverse osmosis even. So when you, or osmosis or reverse osmosis, so when you put ice salt, water and salt without water, water will immediately start moving to the dilute water because of the gravity law. So they did injustice, In my previous lecture, I gave some example that how this wrong translation has damaged the chaste education of the Quran. But what we can do? Now at least after 2-3 months you will get an alternative. You can compare all these translations which is from centuries or copying from one writer to another writer, just changing some spelling, some name, that's it. So that is the reason I have decided to put some light on this myth or mountain of lies or fabricated story or lollipop they are giving to their people. That's a miracle of God. Surah Rahman. So this is the lecture today. So before I start this discussion, I want to give you some essential information so that you can understand regarding water treatment as this discussion related to seawater. So the salinity levels, it called total dissolved solid. In different parts of Atlantic, Pacific Ocean vary as follows. It is a scientific research. So there are three oceans. In the equatorial region of the Atlantic, TDS ranges from 35,500 to 37,009 ppm. So let me make it 1,000. So this is the part per million. It means this water is highly saltish. The water you are drinking or you drink from or the bottled water you have, you can check the TDS, the salt written on the label, it is 100. In Canada, 100, less than 100, or a little bit more than 100. So this is your drinking water. So when I tested the Zamzam water at that time, I think in 1993 or 90, that time this water, Zamzam Moya or the holy water, they are saying its total dissolve was at that time 1400 ppm. I tested myself with the portable TDS meter. Whereas the UNO recommendation, the water you can, drink up to the level 1400 ppm. So this water, 1500, sorry. So this water, it was at that time, now they are starting mixing. I think they put from Shoba plant 0 TDS and then 1400 TDS coming, they are blending in 50-50. So now I think the TDS would be 700 ppm. But this water is not drinkable because it has bacteria, it has silicon. But now the Muslims are drinking because it's a holy water, just like Ganga Jamuna. They consider it as a holy water. And it is full of bacteria, algae, everything. So this is the salt or salt level or salinity level or TDS level of 3C is this. This is not from mine. And the Pacific, here it is the Pacific, this has reach up to, and this can go up to so this is the result. I test this water in Red Sea. At that time it was 40,000 where I tested. And in some area it is 35 and some area it is 60,000. So this is the detail I have given you so that you can understand what I want to convey, the message of the Quran. In biology, osmosis is defined as the movement of water molecule from solution with higher concentration of water molecule to one with a lower concentration. I already explained it. And if you put the pressure on the water, reverse this osmosis process, and by pump if you push the water, so the salt remain in the filter or in the membrane, by force you are putting and you will get, I used to convert 30,000 TDS water into 500 TDS. So that is known as reverse osmosis. By pressure, almost pressure 300 psi pressure and the membrane. Whereas there are other things, the distillation plant, they are entirely different. They made the seawater steam and then they cool down it. That is a distillation plant. So this is the osmosis process. Why I have explained you, they are saying, our Muslim scholar, that this water there is a barrier between them and the sweet water or the salt water does not move toward the sweet water. It is against the natural laws. It is against our lawgiver of this planet. Now what is asserties? Asserties mean from a unique marine bio where the source of fresh water, such as a river, meets the ocean, like Sindh river water, like Ganga Jamuna water, they mix to the sea water. That is known as estuaries. All these waters all over the world, from the rivers, they mix up, they join they meet the ocean. It means the fresh water and salt water are found in the same vicinity. There, they mix, but they don't make the barrier. And their mixing produces dilute brackish water. So this is the stories now. However, our dim-witted translator often cite two verses of the Quran, Surah Al-Furqan and Surah Al-Rahman 55:19, to support the idea of barrier between two bodies of flowing water, presumably salt water and fresh water. You have listened so many times. I'm listening this thing from my childhood. And that prevents them from mixing. This is against the osmosis law. It is next to impossible. And I have given you all the sea, TDS or the saltish. There is no sweet water in all these seas. That prevents them from mixing. This has been interpreted as a scientific marvel. It's a science. Science of the Quran, which is against the natural laws, which is against the osmosis law, with claim that modern oceanography confirm it. Where is any confirmation? Show me from any country where this oceanography. Just talking. They damage the education of the Quran. It's an unparalleled damage they have made damage of to the education of the Quran. And the problem is people don't think because they don't want to listen to the truth. All these religious people, they don't want to listen to the truth. But I did my job. After my death, 40 years, 100 years, this will surface because I have given the very good translation. I say, as per my ability, but my coming generation, they will promote it, they will make an edific building. It's a wonderful language, it's a wonderful system. But the existence of separate salt and fresh sea is impossible because of the law of osmosis. Now, we open the discussion of the two seas considering lexicon-based analysis of Surah Furqan 25:53 and Ar-Rahman 55:19. So these are the verses they are bringing forth for the support of their illogical claim, their stupidness, their darkness, their ignorance. Now, وَالَّذِي مَرَدُ الْبَحْرَيْنِ هَذَا عَذْبُ الْفُرَاتِ وَهَذَا مَلْحِ الْأُجَاجِ وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَهُمْ بَرْزَخًا وَجُدْرًا مَجْهُورًا. So let me give you what is this marriage. Marriage, he merged or mixed it or marred or spoiled his affair or it become corrupt, impaired and disorder or in a confused or distributed state so that one found difficult to extricate from this confusion. Marjul nas, the people become confused. Merge a pasture or pasturage or pasture land or meadow or valley or a place in which beasts, just like cow, buffalo, and other cold-legged animal pasture freely without any restriction. Why I am giving this? Because I want to give the evidence what they have done. It's absolutely wrong. It's a crime against the chaste and eloquent language of the Quran. Now, Haradun Maraj, confusion and disturbance in the affair, marjan, small or large pearls, lulu marjan, marriage, mixture of fire mixed with black substance of the fire or without smoke. This is the meaning of this marriage. There's no sea over here. Now I'll come to the Bahrain. Bahrain I have already given. It is from Bahar, ripple of the sea, of the river. So this is Quran crisis. Beautiful metaphorical language. That when the humanity is crisis, there are also boiling waves in the mind and the body. This is Bahrain. Crisis, confusion. Farad, it signifies water was become sweet. He acted or unrightly or committed fornication also, or adultery, or become weak in his intellect after having possessed ample intelligence, or low, ignoble, mean, or violate, abuse, rude, and waste. So we are today this. We have all these attribution in our personality. The next word is malha. It causes a child to suckle, or camel become fat, or the water becomes salty. If you saw some salt bottle, which in the market, even in English, they have written mala on that. Having been sweet, or that become beautiful, pretty, and pleasing. Ujjat, it signifies the fire burned up, burned brightly, or freshly, or blazed, or flamed freshly. Ujjaj, may anything burning the mouth, whether salt, or bitter, or hot, or vehement, hot, or freshly burning summer. A juge giving light or shining brightly midway, or the freshly burning winds. Yajuj and Majuj, the same word. This is the roots is this. And the next lecture is coming, Yajuj and Majuj. So now keep in your mind that Yajuj is Majuj from the same root, just like salty water, which cut your nerves if you drink it. If you drink the sea water, it will cut your drink. If you see the, Zamzam oil, it also creates problem. I had experienced that when the people drink they become sick. Almost everyone. Majuj, Yajuj, names of male and female. Now, Barzakh. About Barzakh, there are so many, fairy tales. Oh, there is a Barzakh between Jannah and between Jahim, hell, and there's a barrier over there. So they don't have the time to make a research, just they are giving you stories. And sonotopia. It signifies a thing intervened between any two things. If there is a wood, if you cut it and put another piece of wood, that is a barzakh. Or a bar, or an abstraction, or a thing that makes a separation between two things, or what is it between doubt and certainty. So when you see some road there, they are constructing the road, so they put the, barzakh over there that divert this side. Also stand for lawful restriction or barrier or hindrance. So according to the Quranic barzakh, does not mean a barrier between the corporal and the ethereal. It's a mind fabrication. They make the story. Barzakh is portrayed as a place in which after death the spirit is separated from the body. What is the evidence they have? Look, I have given the meaning of the barzakh or in which language, in which shade they were using. And they are saying when a person died, so there is a separation of barzakh between his dead body and his ruh, what they are saying. Freed to contemplate the wrongdoing of its former life. So this is the meaning. Now, let me give you the translation now. Look, first of all, I'll give the Yusuf Ali. It is he who has let free the two bodies of flowing water. Who? Where is that? I have given the three, seas name. There is nothing over there. No separation. I have given the tested TDS of all the salts. I could not find, or they could not find any sweet water in any sea, in any ocean. And he is the one who, what is who? We are the person. The Quran has used this Allahi 3,600 times. It is our talk. Explain the merger the society without Quranic guidance. This is a merger. Merger, notion, into a state of confusion and disturbance or in a psychological crisis evolved in the community like the waves rolls over wave. So we are making this crisis in this planet, what Quran is giving. It's not a matter of sea or there's a barzakh, what they are saying. Confusion, bahar, crisis, tsunami. So we are at this moment, this whole planet is in a crisis, evolve in the community like the wave rolls after wave. War in Palestine, then war in Pakistan, then war in other areas, so wave after wave. We are doing it. We are responsible. Ukraine. So Quran is giving this, and we are all sick. We are fighting for nationalism, for the resources, and to make the hegemony on the weak nation to rip out their resources. This is what we are doing. It's a crisis. The humanity is in crisis now. Bahrain, now you say it's a Bahrain, there is a one country, Bahrain, that is actually colony of the Western and American country. Why they put the Bahrain? Because it is a small island, and the ripples are coming to that. This is the one agreeable, intense, sweet punishment. We accepted it. Our lawgiver will not give any punishment. We are making a decision. Who started the Palestine war? Who is supporting them? Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, all these. So it is intense, sweet punishment we have. Make you violent or ignoble and weak in intelligence froth. Why you are doing? Because we are not making the decision based on the thinking, based on the reasoning, based on the intellectual, based on the wisdom. This is the reason. And whole planet is suffering now. And this one become Haza, salty, bitter. So can you drink salt water? No, it is difficult for us to live on this planet. We cannot buy the property. We cannot, take the rent. And if you go to the, grocery, there is a salt over there. Salt means when you see the prices, it becomes salty. It becomes bitter. What is this? Salty, bitter, malha, vehemently hot and freshly burning, a judge. And all these leaders who are controlling the economy on this planet, they are all Yajuj Majuj. Political leader, religious leader, ruler, you see, you have social media, you can check it. And he constitutes between them a barrier or intervention or restriction or hurdle of the Quranic rules to achieve high values. This is the problem. They are the intervention. They are the barrier between this problem and the Quran. Now I receive one question, what is the Quranic foundation? Simple Quranic foundation. We have 57 Islamic countries. Make the federation and put the constitution of the Quran to the Quranic federation. But how you can do it? Do you think royal family of Saudi will agree with that? Do you think Sudan, where they are fighting for the land, they will agree? Do you think Sisi will agree with that, or Egypt? Do you think Pakistani army, they will agree? Moreover, do you think that all these, Christianity, Judaism, and the present Islamic theocracy state, they will agree with them? No. And this is the problem. Quranic rule to achieve high values of the Wajala Bainahum Barzakha, high values. And prohibit legally as it should be prohibited lawfully Wahijrun Mahjura. So this is the meaning of this verse. What Quran is saying that at that time or now, everywhere there was a crisis, and the Quran, when they started to rectify the society, the Quranic tradition, so they make the system of the Quran. And why it was happened? Because they left the Quran. They make the barrier between them. And now the barrier between us and the Quran, the praying, there's your religious priesthood, there's your Hajj, Umrah, and all this mumbo jumbo we are doing, they are all against the Quran. Even your 5 pillars of the Islam, they are the main obstacle in the constitution of the Quran. They will not allow. So this is the meaning of this verse. Now another one, Maradul Bahrana Yaltaqiyan. Already I have given in marriage. Behold, now Marjan Yaltaqiyan. A third person. It signifies to meet, to encounter, to find, to come face to face. Mulaqat, the same word from there. So now, the crisis of the disturbance or the confusion in the affair of the group, like ripples after ripple. Marjul Bahran is a face to face. Now we have this. Every nation is fighting each other. It's a Bahrain. Like a ripple in the sea. Look, India, Pakistan, they are fighting. Saudi Arabia, UAE, they attack on the Yemen. Look what is happening. Russia, Ukraine, and NATO. And before they were attacking, not what they used to attack the poor nation. This is all ripple after ripple. They don't want the peace. So this Quran is giving this. And then, بينهم برزخ اليبغان. Barzakh, I have already explained you. Yabghan, what is that? It signifies acting wrongfully, tyrannical, corruptly, unjustly, or exceeding the bounds of just limits, or behave proudly or haughty. No, all the European Union, all the powerful country, they have colonized these poor people. Now there's a struggle, there's a movement now. It is coming. Between them, there is a clearly written or testimony of restriction or hurdle of the Quran to achieve high values of the life, which they do not transgress those restrictions or limits. So Quranic Federation give the people, they put them, between them there is a clear written, they give the testimony that you will not cross this. Testimony. For what? A restriction or hurdle of the Quran to achieve, they put the hurdle. And now the same situation है. Saudi Arabia will never ever accept the Quran. High values, because then what is the sending message ripple after ripple? Or Pakistan, they will never accept the Quran. Or 57 Islamic countries. Because what they are doing, the Quran put the restriction on these things. And they don't want to accept it. So they put the hurdle between them and the Quran. And Quran gives achieve high values of the life, which they do not transgress those restrictions or limits. It will be taken in the writing. The Saudi Arabia, if he will be the part of the, Quranic Federation, first of all, they have to change their system. And then, okay, they can become the ruler, no problem. But then they will not, what they are doing now, it will not allow. According to, they have to follow the Quranic principle or the Quranic, values. They could not transgress these values. So this is the meaning of this thing. It does not mean there are two seas, one sea of salt water, another ocean is a sweet water, and they are traveling or moving side by side. And I have explained you that 30,000 TDS, 40,000 TDS, how it will remain in the barrier when if there is a 500 sweet water, let me take 500 sweet water, immediately, according to the osmosis law, it will move. And I have given you, they could not find any sweet water test. These are the, TDS or the salt. Yeah, look, the salt, the equatorial region of Atlantic, it is 34,000 to 37,000. And this North Atlantic, 33,000. And then Pacific, 30,000. It's just a variation. In the South Pacific and the Indian Ocean, salinity range from 34 to 36,000. Yeah. So this is the situation. They could not find any water by their test where there is a TDS of the sea water 500. Leave 100. Even they could not find 2,000. How they are saying this claim? And then, science has proved it. So they're idiot, They are idiot. They insulted the Quran. And they have only one business, and that business to make the money. And look, this modern oceanography, they don't give this. So please just think. Start thinking. All these translations is garbage. They're all garbage. They are against the education of the Quran. That is the reason we are in this humiliation situation, degradation. We are living. We have no value. So the next lecture will be, because we today discuss a jar, salty water. So from the same level, Yajuj and Majuj, those nations who cut the stomach, like that salty water, who damage if you drink it, it cut it damage the stomach or the veins. Thank you very much.